Welcome. And today we're going to be talking about facing adversity. Now, facing adversity has to do with dealing with, getting through, and overcoming challenges, overcoming difficulties anytime you're in a situation of, let's say, so-called misfortune, or something happens in your experiences and in your life that you have to face and that you have to get through. And almost like in a video game where you are getting more XP for the experiences that you're going through, for the challenges that you're overcoming, and through this you're gaining more experience, you're gaining more abilities, more experience, and that with that experience you can use that to gain wisdom, you can use that to gain knowledge, you can use that to become mentally stronger, you can use that to become physically, emotionally, and spiritually stronger. It is what you choose to do with it when facing adversity. When facing adversity, when it comes to mentally, this could be, having mental battles that you're facing on a daily basis. Let's say mental things that you're stuck on, or mental things that you have an addiction to, or mental things that you have become fixated on when it comes to mentally, that are challenging, that are difficult. These things that you are dealing with when it comes to mentally, getting through these things and overcoming these things will have you becoming stronger. Facing that adversity when it comes to mentally that you're dealing with, getting over that is going to have you more stronger when it comes to mentally. It's going to have you with more mental confidence to be able to go through any situation that you need to go through in order to face that adversity, therefore gain that experience to overcome those challenges and overcome those difficulties. Keep dealing with it, keep facing that adversity that you're experiencing when it comes to mentally, because you're going to constantly keep pushing forward, keep going strong no matter what it is that you're facing, no matter how strong the adversity you're facing, no matter how difficult the challenges that you're facing, or no matter what type of misfortunate or, let's say, tower card-esque situation that plays out in your life, or that's playing out in your state when it comes mentally. When it comes to facing that adversity mentally, like I said, be strong when it comes to mentally. Have that mental perseverance to get through whatever adversity you are facing. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are facing adversity when it comes to mentally, think about what it is that you need to do in order to overcome this adversity. Think about what it is you need to do in order to overcome these difficulties. What it is that you need to do in order to overcome these challenges, these situations of misfortune that you're dealing with, if you ever happen to be in a position of misfortune. Of course, stuff happens. Nothing is always good, and sometimes when there's a great time, something's bound to happen to kind of give you a reality check when it comes to mentally, give you a reality check when it comes to emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And in those times of adversity that you're going to face, remind yourself to be strong, because through those experiences of you dealing with that adversity and those challenges of those situations of misfortune and you being strong, you're going to gain more and more experience as an individual and as a being in order to, like I said before, develop more wisdom, develop more knowledge, develop more experience to basically apply to the other parts of your life, or apply to other aspects of life. When it comes to, like I said, you ever finding yourself in a situation like that, mentally, just do what you need to do in order to maintain your strength when it comes to mentally. Do what you need to do in order to maintain your stability when it comes to mentally. If there's difficulties that you're dealing with when it comes to mentally, then do what you need to do to get over those in order you can derive a sense of stability, in order for you to derive a sense of mental strength and a sense of overcoming those things when it comes to mentally. Therefore, you have that empowerment, you have that confidence in your mental state of being in order to do whatever it is that you need to do in regards to your mental state of being. So basically, facing that adversity as far as you can and as best as you can when it comes to mentally, and dealing with that adversity and getting through that adversity, regardless of what situation is thrown your way, knowing that mentally I'm going to make it through this, mentally I'm going to think, I'm going to see, I'm going to experience through this mentally, being strong, and we're going to get through this adversity that we're facing when it comes to mentally. When it comes to facing adversity as far as physically, whatever it is that you're dealing with, you could be dealing with tough situations, you could be dealing with tough people, you could be dealing with tough places, or you're just in a difficult place in your life right now, or you're having a lot of difficulties in your physical existence in life right now. Telling you right now, getting through that and remaining strong through your physical state of being is going to help you in order to grow, in order to gain more experience, in order to gain more wisdom and knowledge about the physical world that you live in and the physical experiences that you're interacting with and the world that you're interacting with. And not only that, but any sort of situation that comes your way when it comes to physically, like I've said before on this channel, say, I don't care what it looks like. It should matter none what your situation looks like, as long as you are mentally strong, as long as you are physically and emotionally and spiritually strong, and you are doing that for yourself. You're mentally there for yourself, you're physically there for yourself, you're emotionally there for yourself, and you're spiritually there for yourself. Whatever sort of situation you're dealing with when it comes to physically, whatever is thrown your way, it doesn't matter what that is. It should matter none what comes into your physical state of being. You need to be the one that is strong enough. You need to be that strong being in order to face that adversity that is handed to you when it comes to physically. You need to be the strong one to face and deal with that hand of cards that is dealt to you. You need to be the one in order to do that. If the universe is and God and are putting you in a situation that is difficult, then hey, maybe they're testing you. They want to see, how do you face adversity? And through the adversity that you're facing when it comes to physically, you're going to gain strength. Not only will you gain that strength, but God and the universe will see that you're facing that adversity and that you're gaining that strength and facing the difficulties, facing the misfortunes, facing any challenges that come your way when it comes to physically. And getting through that is going to have you more physically stronger than you could ever imagine. It's going to have you more physically advancement in the process of your life when it comes to physically. It's going to have you transmuting all things that you have difficulties with, all types of adversity that you're dealing with, and transmuting those experiences into things that are going to help you grow, into things that are going to help you physically manifest, into things that are going to help you physically expand, into things that are going to help you physically become even more stronger, into things that are going to help you more physically protected. Regardless of what that adversity is that is in your reality, you are going to get through it. Doesn't matter if you get in a car crash. Doesn't matter if, you lose someone close to you that you love, because that's a difficult thing to come around to. That's a difficult thing to experience. That's something that's hard. That's adversity that you might need to face, and that's a reality that we all have to face at the end of the day. Those are some of the hardest things that you're going to have to deal with when it comes to facing adversity. Tell you right now, I know a lot of people who have lost people, and I have seen them face that adversity and come out even stronger than before. And I've dealt with this myself in the past, and I will continue to maintain on being strong. Like I said, it doesn't matter what physical action or experience or situation you find yourself in when it comes to physically, or what adversity, difficulties, and misfortune you're dealing with and having to face that adversity in the physical state of being. You got this. As long as you're being there for yourself mentally, as long as you're being there for yourself physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and that you have your back no matter what it is that you're going through, you're going to face that adversity with no problem. You're going to continue on gaining that experience with no problem. It is not going to be something that's going to take you down when it comes to physically. It's only going to be something that's going to bring you up when it comes to your state of being. When it comes to your status of the reality that you're living in, you're going to keep going up, and we'll see you at the top. And when it comes to facing adversity, when it comes to physically, doing what you have to do when it comes to physically in order to deal with that adversity that you're facing. There's going to be things that you're going to have to make sacrifices for. There's going to have to be different ways that you interact with the physical world because of some adversity that you're facing. There's going to be different actions that you have to be involved in order to face with the adversity that you're dealing with. There's going to be different ways for you to move when it comes to physically that you're going to just have to do. You're going to have to face that adversity, and I don't care how bad it hurts. I don't care how annoying it is, or how difficult, or how seemingly impossible the task may be. You have to face that at the end of the day. You have to be strong as you can, because so much things have happened. So many things have, in this physical reality, people have had to face the extreme and the most extreme of facing adversities in this reality. And the best that you can do is know and be aware of that, and be aware of facing that adversity when that happens to you in your reality. Therefore, with that physical adversity that you're dealing with, you can remain strong. You can use it to develop strength. You can use it to develop adversity. You can use it to develop, diversity. You can use it to develop stability, and you can use it to gain wisdom and knowledge and gain experience when it comes to physically in order to face even more adversity down the road. So keep on facing that adversity when it comes to physically, and power to you in that sector of your life. And when it comes to emotionally, facing emotional adversity, doesn't matter what you're feeling, what type of challenges, what type of difficulties you're dealing with when it comes to emotionally. You got to be the one that's strong enough to deal with that. You got to be the one that's stable enough emotionally, keeping yourself emotionally in check in order to deal with that adversity that is facing, that you're having to face. I could have gotten home from putting in some work like tonight and then not gone onto this video and gone into, let's say, a different mode, like not facing adversity, when maybe I was exhausted, maybe I felt this way, maybe I felt that way. Regardless of what I was feeling when it came to emotionally, I am facing that adversity. I'm not letting that emotional, let's say, challenge or difficulty or the position that I'm in when it comes to the situation that has been handed to me, or not handed to me, but the situation that I've been involved in with recently, and the way I've emotionally reacted to that. I've emotionally faced that adversity with strength. I've emotionally faced that adversity with allowing it to grow me when it comes to emotionally, allowing it to make me more stronger when it comes to emotionally, allowing it to make me more strong when it comes to emotionally, more emotionally aware, more emotionally intellectual, more emotionally in tune with my intuition when it comes emotionally. So regardless of what it is that you're dealing with, whatever adversity you're facing when it comes emotionally, you have to be the one that's strong enough in order to face that adversity. You could be dealing with a way that person, place, or thing, or something about yourself is making you feel, and you have to know that as long as I'm here when it comes to mentally, as long as I'm here for myself when it comes to physically, as long as I'm here for myself when it comes to emotionally, as long as I got myself when it comes to spiritually, you're going to get through whatever adversity it is that you're having to face. You're going to push forward, and you're going to overcome those challenges. You're going to overcome those difficulties, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how anyone feels about that, regardless of how you're taking in what it is that you're dealing with. Regardless of any of that, you need to be there. You need to be strong enough to face that adversity, and therefore, facing that adversity, you can develop emotional strength. You can develop emotional stability by going through that emotional adversity. You know, a lot of people are going to feel these things. A lot of people are going to feel those things. Some people are going to feel this. Other people are going to feel that. You on your journey are going to feel a multitude of things when it comes emotionally, and deal with a multitude of things when it comes to the way that you are reacting to the world. I put that in the emotional state of being because that is what I have found is a part of the emotional state of being, the way that you react to the world, and your reaction and or your emotional reaction to that. And like I said, deal with a multitude of things, and when it comes to emotionally, you need to be strong when it comes to emotionally, strong enough to face that adversity when it comes to emotionally. You don't want something to take you out because, oh, you felt this way, or something to mess you up physically, or mess you up mentally, or mess you up emotionally, or mess you up spiritually just because you felt a certain way. Face that adversity about the way that you're feeling, or whatever you're dealing with when it comes to emotionally. Therefore, you can get through whatever it is that you need to get through, and gain that knowledge, gain that wisdom, gain that experience, and now bring that, what you have gained, what you have developed through facing that adversity when it comes to emotionally, into the next experiences into your life, bringing those into whatever it is that you have to do. Doesn't matter what that is, what kind of adversity you're going to have to face. Difficult, very challenging, unfortunate times, misfortunate times, whatever it is that you're dealing with when it comes to adversity, stay emotionally strong, not only for yourself, but for the ones that you care for. Stay emotionally strong for not just the people you care about. Stay emotionally strong for all beings in your life that you care about. Animals, living things, things that aren't moving, like trees or rocks, water, the earth, whatever that may be, the clouds, whatever that may be the one to be strong and face the adversity with whatever it is that you're dealing with, so that you can be that emotional rock, so that you can be the one that's emotionally strong, that you can get through anything that you can get through. And therefore, by doing that, maybe you can help someone else's emotional state of being, or help some other being's state of being when it comes emotionally, or help something's state of being when it comes emotionally, by leading by example. So continue on facing that adversity and continue on staying strong when it comes emotionally. I know I'm doing a lot of fast talking or talking loud in this video, but at the end of the day, that's just me getting out the message. I've thought, like, back when I used to smoke weed, vape, not vape, but smoke nicotine, or no, not nicotine, but smoke THC cartridges or whatever, which I've taken a break on for a while. I used to hit those cartridges every once in a while I was recording the video, and it seemed like that helped the time go by faster. But at the end of the day, I'm coming to realize that all that matters is me getting out that message, whether I'm in this state of being, whether I'm in that state of being, whether I'm in influence of this substance, whether I'm under the influence of this substance, whether I'm allowing this substance into my reality, whether I'm allowing that substance or no substance whatsoever into my reality. At the end of the day, I got to get out that message as best as I can, and that's what I'm going to continue to do, regardless of what adversity I'm dealing with mentally, regardless of what adversity I'm dealing with physically, regardless of what adversity I'm dealing with emotionally, regardless of what adversity I'm dealing with when it comes to spiritually. And spiritually dealing with adversity, you're going to have all sorts of things that come into your reality when it comes to dealing with things when it comes to adversity spiritually. You're going to have spiritual attacks that you're going to think are happening to you. You're going to have spiritual attacks that possibly are happening to you. You're going to have spiritual attacks that have and will continue to happen to you when it comes to spiritually. People spiritually projecting things onto you. People spiritually putting you in position, person, places, or things, having you in a situation when it comes to spiritually on your path of dealing with challenges, dealing with misfortune, dealing with unfortunate times, dealing with difficulties when it comes to spiritually. And as long as you are there for yourself when it comes to spiritually, you're reminding yourself that you're a strong spirit when it comes to spiritually. You're reminding yourself that you're protected spiritually no matter what, as long as you're there for yourself. By being there for yourself when it comes to spiritually, you have no other choice but to be there for yourself when it comes to mentally, be there for yourself when it comes to physically, and therefore emotionally as well. We know that the spirit controls the mind controls the body, and therefore the body is the physical vessel that is experiencing the emotional state of being. Therefore, you got to be there for yourself when it comes to spiritually, and strong for yourself when it comes to spiritually, and being a strong spirit in order to deal with whatever adversity it is that you have to deal with. You're going to have to be hard into situations when it comes to spiritually things that you're facing when it comes to adversity. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to be growing and expanding and developing when it comes to spiritually through dealing with that adversity that it is you're having to deal with. And whatever that may be that you're dealing with, you need to be strong when it comes to spiritually in order to get through that, in order to face that adversity, and therefore grow and learn and expand through those experiences from dealing with that adversity. On your spiritual path, on your spiritual journey, fulfilling your spiritual purpose that there is for your life, and also developing new spiritual purpose that there are for your life, in order for you to influence the reality that we are in a way where spiritually, in a way where it's not just something that mentally one can think about here, and then the next day it's in one mind, out the other. Or when physically one person can see it here, and then one day it's just all gone when it comes to physically. Or emotionally, where, oh, someone can feel you on that, I can feel you on what you said. It's going to be that. Of course, you're going to influence the world in the way when you're putting in that spiritual work and you're fulfilling your spiritual path and you're on that spiritual journey in your life. But let's talk about everlasting things that are eternal, like the spirit, like the spiritual state of being, and you influencing the reality that we're in, the world, the universe, everything, people, God, angels, demons, influencing everything, influencing all possibilities. Therefore, those things will stand the test of time. Those things will always have an influence, whether you're here physically, whether you're here mentally, emotionally, or whether you're not here physically, mentally, or emotionally. That spiritual system, that spiritual wisdom and knowledge that you have put out into the world will stand the test of time, as long as you are in your power when it comes to spiritually. You're spiritually facing that adversity that it is that you need to face when it comes to spiritually. So keep on continuously being spiritually strong. Keep on facing adversity, whatever it is that you're dealing with when it comes to spiritually. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.